You have the way he structured his business. One of the ways that he's lured the girls is by having another girl there, identical to what Epstein was doing.
No, it wasn't identical. Andrew Tate did not have a island full of children that were ready to, do work on the Democrats, Bill Clinton and several other people that were on that blacklist that still today have not been prosecuted. Criminal lawyer Bruce Rivers does a breakdown video on Andrew Tate, claiming that he incriminated himself in this video that he made, I believe, a while back. So this surfaced up. And this guy actually does have a pretty fun channel. His whole gimmick is he does videos on like rappers or celebrities or high-profile guys that basically snitch on themselves. And we're going to take a look at what he has to say about Andrew Tate.
Trafficking, there's unless you're dealing with underage, when we don't have any evidence that anybody's underage. But we have three things: force, fraud, or coercion. Force, obviously, that's like being in chains and not being allowed to leave. Fraud, being kept there under false pretenses. If there's an element of fraud in the way that you are enticing somebody or keeping somebody in a particular position to work for you, and if it's in the sex business, that's sex trafficking. Or coercion, threat of harm or some other way to limit your movement. And so
so he claims there that there's three different versions of that. So one interesting thing there that he says fraud. Anything in the sex industry, if you underpay a woman or you do different things on the taxes or you screw over a chick like Mia Khalifa that claimed that she only got paid, like $9,000 for all her videos on Pornhub, that would be, I guess, considered fraud, right? Because she thought that she was going to get more out of it. So by definition, since it's in the sex industry, according to him, that would be considered sex trafficking. He doesn't really shoot too much on the definition, but that's according to his definition. And he's going to use that a lot in this video to try to claim that Andrew Tate is a sex trafficker. So just keep that in mind right there.
Now, I've told very shortly my story, how I kind of started my whole webcam business. I'll tell it again in detail here. I was fighting. I had some money. I had 70,000 pounds in a safe in my bedroom, in my house. I wanted to buy property in Thailand and move to Thailand. I needed 80,000. I was 10 grand short. And I thought I'd go to the casino and make the 10.
That's also telling. I'm going to go to the casino and try to make money when he's not even a gambler. Guys, stay away from the casino. There's a reason that they're so big.
Yeah, no, definitely. Andrew Tate's told this story many times. The interesting part, I fast forward for this part because Andrew Tate's basically telling his origin story of how he made his first millions. This was back in 2013 when his brother, he became a millionaire at the age of 28. He's 36 now. So this would have been around 2014 where he became a millionaire.
Just obviously, we all know how that story went. So I lost 30, so now I need 40. I needed it quickly. So I was sitting there trying to find a way to make money. So how can I make money? And what I did was, I said to Tristan, I'm literally not leaving my room until I have a way for us to make more money. Because I can only fight so many times per year, and I know their income. So I got a pen and paper, and I was on YouTube, like researching, how people make money, what millionaires have, and they kept talking about assets. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there thinking, what assets do I have? I'm trying to buy a property. I mean, I didn't own a property in the UK.
Now, think about the word asset. What is an asset? Well, I suppose this hat is an asset. It's not worth much, but it's really the brand is worth a lot more than the hat is. But what is an asset? The office, the building, your brand. Those are assets. Things that you own are assets.
All right. So right there, he gives you a very leading definition of assets, and he does that for a reason because he's going to use that later on Andrew Tate. But here's the thing. No, an asset is something that provides value to you. So, for example, if you own property or you own apartment complex, you're getting value out of those apartment complex or houses, whatever you're renting out, you're getting money back in. So those houses are liabilities because you're paying for them when you do, but they'll eventually become assets to bring in money. And not only that, even people like business partners. Business partners could be assets to you. So any person that brings value into you, any type of value, are assets. Now, liabilities are people that take away value or take away money. So if you're a guy that has a lot of money and you're spending all your money on over there at the club or on fast cars and you can't really afford it and your money's running out, those are all liabilities, my friend. So that's a very dishonest definition that he's giving out right there.
Pay tax to anyone. I didn't want to pay taxes, so I didn't buy a house to go to and from me. So I was like, what?
And keep in mind, keep that tax thing in the back of your head.
What assets do I have? Okay, I have a car, I have this, I have that. And then I realized I had about 5 girlfriends, all smoking home. And females are an asset.
See, look at it. Look at his face right there. Look, but here's the thing. I guarantee you, if Andrew Tate would have sat there and be like, women are liabilities. If you get a woman there, you're going to spend more money on dates, movies, drinks, food, whatever, taking her out, the rings, it's all gifts, whatever, you name it. They become liabilities because guess what? Like I said before, they extract money away from the man, right? So if he would have said women are liabilities, he would have done the same thing, made the same exact face, but he's saying, no, these women are assets. In other words, they're bringing value into him, bringing in money, bringing in some kind of value.
Attractive females are absolutely an asset. And if you disagree with me, walk in the club with 10 blondes and you'll see who the most important guy in the club is. Fuck the champagne shows.
Who the fuck cares who the most important guy in the club is? The most insecure guy in the club, it's important to that guy. But it should never be important to you to be the most important guy in the club. What should be important to you is the people around you having their respect, but having their respect because, not because you're walking in there with 12 blondes.
If you're walking into the club and you actually have like attractive women there, it is a psychology that women that are attracted to you, you will attract other women and also other people. You know, other people, if you're a businessman, you have a beautiful woman beside you and you're going to do a business deal like out there in the club or whatever your case is, you're networking, beautiful women is definitely an asset to you because you're going to get shit done. You're going to get deals done because you have a beautiful woman by your side. So yes, she becomes an asset at that point. So this guy's just thinking of Andrew Tate as like he's only using women for sex and that's it. And no other value outside of that. But of course, he's just judging it based off of this one video. And he's, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Andrew Tate's very much of a character in this one.
The club with 10 girls, and there's guys next to me doing champagne shows. Is it looking at their table or my table? No one gives a fuck about their table. Pussy is the most important driving force of this planet. Pussy is the only reason that empires were started and wars were waged. It's the only reason all you guys are out there are even interested in having money. If there was no pussy about, you wouldn't care about having money. You'd say, oh, I'll have a little bit of money and I'll just play chess all day. I don't care, I'll play video games. The only reason we want cars and clothes and six-packs and houses and shit is for girls. So when I realized I had all these assets, I had to find a way to monetize the assets.
Now remember, the assets, are something you own.
See, he's going back to that. Remember, assets are things you own. So this guy believes he owns these women. They're just assets to him. So again, his play with words here is very dishonest.
The skill I'm going to teach you is exactly the same. I could easily translate mine to a street business, and you could easily street pimp with the things I'm going to teach you. But I didn't want no one else fucking my girl. That's the truth. My girls. I want to fuck my girls. I want some other guy fucking my girls. The fuck's the point in that? So, long story short, blah, 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 blah. Discovered webcam and went from there. Flew all 5 girls in at once, sat them all down, so I've been going out with all of you. Here's the truth. Starting a business, you'll make money or not. 2 decided to stay. 3 started crying, got back on the plane, because they're all different places in the world. I had them for when I was fighting. So I went and fought in Slovakia, got a girlfriend. Went and fought in France, got a girlfriend. Went and fought, so I had all these girls around the world. So I told them all to fly in, sat them all down together. Like, who the fuck are all these other girls? I was like, okay, truth time. Bang.
All these other girls probably think they're exclusive before they come to him, right? And now all of a sudden he lays the truth down on them. What is that's deception from the very beginning.
Yeah, okay, so again, Andrew Tate tells the truth, but yet this guy's not going to give him any credit. He's going to call him deception either way. So he takes these women, tells them the truth, either do the webcam with me, I'm here, I love you guys all, or if you're not, get the fuck out. Guess what? By the end of the day, all, vast majority of them left. Okay. I think he was left with like one chick after that.
His words, not mine.
I'm a G. I'm fucking you all.
I'm a G.
I'm going to start a business. You're all going to live here with me. 3 got back on the plane. 2 decided to stay. 2 weeks later, 1 left. And so I was left with 1.
Yeah, there you go.
But starting with 1 is good. But those 2 weeks, I fucked them together a few.
The G, as he calls himself, started with 5. Now he's down to 1. How much respect would you have for the 1 girl that's still standing there? The 4 girls, thank God that they had the sense. But really, who is the bigger man?
So again, he wants to make you believe, okay, what kind of respect would you have this girl who actually stayed? The other 4, thank goodness they had the sense. They took off. What he's not telling you though, and I don't even think he knows this, but the 1 girl that did stay ended up being a millionaire. So the other 4 chicks that they did, who knows? I don't know. Maybe they became a millionaire somewhere else or something like that. But the thing is, Andrew Tate made that woman a millionaire, okay? So I think she's doing pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and say that I respect her because I don't really respect women that do sex work. And not only that, respect is earned. Just because you have $1 million doesn't mean I respect you. But yeah, nevertheless, he wants to deceive it in a way to get you feeling as if you don't respect that woman, but the other 4 are respectable. So yeah, very deceptive language, but he's a lawyer.
Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money and give you the money.
Your goal is to rip her off. That's really what he's telling you. Those are his words. I'm not taking anything out of context. We're not chopping this up. This is his little seminar that he was pitching to all these guys out there who think he's got something to offer.
So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence. And you're going to have that element of influence through her respecting you, looking up to you, and her believing she needs you.
Now that is a critical thing. The old pimps, what they would do is they'd find some young girl at the bus station. This is an old school kind of thing, or go to the mall or whatever. And they shower them with gifts, and then they think they're the best, and and these are chicks that don't have any self-esteem whatsoever. And then they start working for them, and then but it's a slow process. But it's a slow process of mind control and physical control with money, control with emotions, and physical control.
At the end of the day, if you're there willingly, you're doing that on your own. Yes, he's not forcing anything from them. He's not forcing them to have sex with anybody. He's not forcing them to do webcam. He's not forcing any of that stuff. He's just saying, hey, you could leave if you want. He already told that story to these ladies, his first girlfriends. He said, hey, this is the business. You don't want to do it? Okay, you can leave. We'll convince you. I hope you do it. Okay, if you don't do it, cool. And at the end of the day, he did make all those girls very, very wealthy, and more so, especially in Romania. Okay, so no matter what, they weren't going to make any of that money anywhere that they gone to. So pimps, they keep all the money, and then they have their bottom bitch go in and pay for them. So it's very different way of going about it with Andrew Tate.
This is extremely important because at the beginning she will need you, but then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive.
Fallacy. That's his word. His word. I'm not taking this out of context. So she'll need you at first, but then she won't.
Yeah, of course. So Andrew Tate has stated this several times. He had 75 women working for him. You think all 75 in and out girls were there thinking I need this guy. I can go over there and do it myself. He stated, go ahead, go do it yourself. You do it yourself, you're going to make $5,000. You can keep 100% of that. With me, you can make 15. You're going to get half of that. You're going to make more money working for me than you would on your own. So he stated that several times, and most women are going to be like, you know what? I tried doing it on my own, or I tried doing it with my boyfriend or some guy that's there, and then I came back to Andrew Tate because I was making more money. Again, this is all them coming back, wanting to do it themselves, wanting to make money, and a lot of these girls were made millionaires thanks to Andrew Tate. So again, there was no force. This guy wants to make it seem like because there was some kind of manipulation, therefore it's sex trafficking. Again, you can make that argument in even the porno industry. Yes, you can make a lot of those arguments there. Is that considered sex trafficking? Probably not. I think there's different names for those charges. Now, if there is some fraud in there, which we'll get more into, fine. Maybe there's some fraud things there, but human trafficking or sex trafficking is not going to be on that list, okay? But this guy's going to bend the mind and the definitions to make an argument that he is a sex trafficker. So let's move on.
But you have to keep her convinced that she does need you. That's how you control. That's the control part. And it is a fallacy. And what is fallacy? Fraud.
She can't do this without you, to ensure that she doesn't do it without you. So this is what screen share is all about. Effectively, this is the way the business works. The girl sits on the camera. Now, when the girl is on camera, and you would have seen from my promotional video, that was at the height of my webcam empire. The blonde in that video I'm still with now. You'll see from there how we explain that there's people typing or pretending to be the girl 24 hours a day. So it hasn't got to be 24.
That part, I suppose, is fine in terms of a business model. But it's fraud. I mean, he's the one typing, and so you think you're getting all excited by something she's saying, and here you're really communicating with Andrew Tate.
And it's funny because he starts off saying like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's still fraud because he was typing it in because you thought it was the girl. It was really Andrew Tate. Like, he's really stretching it, but let's go on.
But that method is very important for two reasons. First, let me explain how it works. Listen up, motherfuckers. So the girl's on the webcam. She's sitting here. When a girl is on camera, she has a public room, which people will visit, and they will spend money in and talk shit.
And when you think about it, the people that he's appealing to on these webcams are just a bunch of really lonely guys, and there's a ton of them out there.
It is your job to train the girl to talk to and interact with that public room as much as possible. So when people come in the room and say, oh, hey, how are you? She's like, they type. The men type, hey, how are you? It comes in the box. She goes, oh, hey, I'm fine, thank you. And she has to make sure her public room is engaging and interesting as much as possible to keep people in the room. Now, while the public...
Yeah, so he's just giving business advice on that one. Like, that's just basic business advice on how to retain attention and to better monetize whatever you're selling.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with what he's actually doing. It's the nature of how he's getting the girls there and keeping them there.
Private messages. And all those private messages you are going to reply to. And you're going to reply to them via screen share on a computer in a different room. As long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network, you're having more conversations with men than a girl could ever have on her own. Because she's too busy on her own. She's overwhelmed. She can't talk to all these people. So some guys you have to negotiate with, some guys you have to do a deal with, some guys whatever. You can do all that shit. But even more importantly, it makes the girl believe that she can't do it without you.
That's a recurring theme, that she can't do it without you. She is reliant on you. She needs you. And why is that important? Because if she thinks she can do it on her own, guess what? She does.
She's gonna leave and you're gonna lose out on business. Yeah, no fucking shit, Sherlock. Like, here's the thing. You know that saying goes, right? Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man a fish, he eats for a lifetime. Why is Andrew Tate gonna teach this woman how to do the business side of the cam industry? All she's good at is taking off her clothes. She's not a businesswoman. She can't fucking do it on her own, right? So why is he gonna teach her how to fish when she's gonna go over there and reap 100% of the benefits? Where he can't go on webcam and show his titties off and make all that money. He only has one element to work with, which is business. If she masters the business and then she has the body, she can do both. But here's the thing. Some women will go out there and do it and they'll slay it, man. Okay, cool. Fair enough. I think most of these women that work in the sex industry are fucking idiots. Most of them won't be able to pull that off. But guess what? Andrew Tate had a business. They say, hey, you can make $10,000 here with me or $2,000 with you and reap 100% of that profit, or you can reap 50% or whatever percent that I'm taking a cut on. So you're still going to make that money. So if you're smart enough, that's what it is. And yes, it's just
it on her own, and you've lost your profit center. That's what he's talking about. That's why the control is such an important aspect of what he does.
At the beginning, she can, but there'll become a point she can't. But you being here, it synergizes this teamwork energy. We're going to do this together. Yeah, you go on the camera. Don't worry, I'll talk to the guys. I'm going to talk to them. We're a team. Happy, positive teamwork. There's no negative energy in this business. You have to be positive. So by you typing for the girl, you maximize your money, and also she believes she needs you, which is extremely important. Later on down the line, I got to the point where I'd hired typers. So I didn't have to type. So I'd hired girls to sit and type and pretend to be the girls. So I had girls online. I had an office full of girls pretending to type. So I had 4 typers, 20 girls online, for example. Another reason we use Chatterbait is because they will pay you in Bitcoin.
This is another critical part of what he does, and that may impact a criminal prosecution of him later. And if you recall at the beginning of this video, he talked about not wanting to own property because he didn't want to pay taxes. And him not paying taxes is a recurring theme. And so if he's avoiding taxes, you can't avoid taxes with Bitcoin. I mean, you still owe the money. If you're making money, it's income, you have income taxes. Just because you're paid in Bitcoin doesn't mean that you don't owe the taxes. So let's continue.
So one big lesson that a lot of these billionaires, millionaires, people that teach others how to get rich or how to go about their money is trying to avoid as much taxes as possible. Try to pay the least amount of taxes as possible. And so this isn't something that's illegal. Okay, this is something that every millionaire, every billionaire you can think of does that same thing, okay? Because if they all paid 100% of their taxes, say there's a millionaire, I'm going to pay all my taxes, 100%, all of these things. I wouldn't be a fucking millionaire anymore, okay? The Uncle Sam is going to fuck you in your ass. It's not worth it, all right?
Continue.
They'll pay you in Bitcoin. Put in your Bitcoin address and they'll pay you in Bitcoin. And this is amazing because you've all seen the thought audit shit that's going on. You've all seen the fucking legalities of banking. Trying to get money out of these sites into your bank without paying a shitload of tax is actually very difficult.
See, it's that whole avoiding taxes. And it's not legal to do that. It's not legal to not pay your taxes.
But he didn't say he wasn't going to pay his taxes. He said he's avoiding it, okay? So here's another argument. He wants to make a big thing on Bitcoin. You have to realize that the brothers were doing this webcam business in like 2013, 2014. Back in 2013, 2014, Bitcoin was only worth like $13 to like at max $300. Okay, it wasn't the same values that it is now. The government couldn't tax you on Bitcoin because Bitcoin wasn't a thing. It wasn't popular. It was just some kind of money, fake money that was on the dark web. That's all it was known for. So government had no way of really taxing a lot of these things. Obviously, Andrew Tate went that direction. Why? To avoid taxes. Of course, he was going to go that route. Of course, that's a risk, though. It could have been a big liability because Bitcoin could have shot down to zero and he would have lost a lot of money. It was a risk factor. Obviously, it turned out well for him, but it was something that he was risking on. So again, this lawyer guy is giving you one side of the story here during this reaction.
And that was going to be about an hour segment of this fucking thing. But we don't need to do that anymore because in the last 6 months, Chatterbait have released a Bitcoin option. So they'll pay you in Bitcoin. So if you're a girl on there working, let's say you generate $3,000, $4,000, bang, you get Bitcoin into your wallet. Done. No fucking tax, no thought audit, none of that shit. And I had a separate phone with all my girls' guys in that phone, and I kept control of it. And I would speak to them, and before she went online, I would tell her, like, any basic information. You don't let your girl have this, because if your girl ever runs off and leaves you, which is going to happen to some of you at least, you don't want her to have an address book of all the guys she can get money from.
Another aspect of control. You don't want her to have your client list,
of course not.
Because if she has your client list, she can leave you. So you've got to restrict her information. So it's systematic, and it's a systematic method of control to control these women. Now, these are not my words. These are his words and his words alone.
Yeah. So again, if you're running a used car company and you have a guy working for you, and this dude is super good at selling cars, he's really good at it. Maybe he needs help with business, right? But he one day wants to also open up a used car business right across the street from you. And then finally he says, you know what? I'm super good at selling these things. I'm gonna take my money. I'm gonna go invest, and I'm gonna open up a place right next door to you. Hey, would you mind giving me your client list and the list of people that you know that maybe they can help me, so that way I can open up my own? Of course not. No, he's gonna say, go ahead and do it yourself, and good luck. And if you can't do it, hey, there's a job right here back here for you. Simple as that. So this guy wants to make it seem as if like that's a deceptive thing to do, to not give out your client list to just employees. Like, what the heck?
Her to leave and go, well, I don't know the account. I don't have the password to the account. I've never set it up before. I don't know how the banking works. I don't have any of my guys' phone numbers. I have nothing. And that's why they don't want to leave. Because like, oh, well, he has everything. I need him. I have to stay with him. He has everything. It's important.
Thank you.
It's a very important element.
It is an important element with any
Very
type of
important
business.
element, that control.
The girls are like, well, what the fuck do I need this dude for? And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. So you don't need to pay tax to anybody.
That's not legal advice, by the way.
You have to tell your girl that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay. Now that allows you to do two things. One, it's another control element.
See how that control is a recurring theme over and over and over again?
If I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. It's a control element.
And he doesn't have respect for these women at all because he thinks they're stupid.
Yeah, I stated that. That's pretty funny.
It allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I give them 3, and I keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, and we had to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. If they say, why is it 50-50? Because I'm the one on camera. You say, because I'm the one typing, I'm the one with the property you're working in, I'm the one paying the bills, the electricity, I'm the one who's, and the electricity and every other maintenance cost of this property, I'm the one who bought the equipment, I'm the one who knows what he's doing, I'm the one with the knowledge, I'm the da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up, go online. And they should be pretty happy with that if they respect you as a person overall. So really you're paying 30, you tell them you're paying 50, the difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies, taxes. If they don't believe you or they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here, sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Okay. And they just sign away. They don't know what they're fucking signing. That's thrown away afterwards. They think something's happening. Something real's happening. Nothing's happening. It's like medium rich, bitch.
Nothing's happening.
This guy would fucking get fake tax forms and have her sign, yeah, just taxes, whatever. And then he'll throw them away. Okay, look, I'm not going to lie. With that thing, I don't know for sure what the Romanian law is exactly, because I don't know how far down the line. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that would be considered fraud. Now, again, in its time, Bitcoin was so brand new. Getting paid through Bitcoin was something else. Obviously, there has to be a transaction to that, so I don't know how that works exactly. But but as far as fraud goes, as far as that, then maybe they might be able to have a case on that if they can prove that, which will probably still be very difficult, even with this video, because he could just be talking out of his ass. Again, Andrew Tate's known to being some kind of character. Okay, so you can't take a YouTube video and prosecute him off of some kind of character he's playing, or at least if that's the argument you're making. But anyways, let's move on.
Except for me getting rich, bitch. That's what he just said. So he's taking another 20% of what would have been their earnings, saying he's paying taxes, but he's not paying taxes. His words. Having them even sign a dummy tax form that is just to try to convince her even more that he's paying some taxes, which is just ridiculous. And so, what is the middle word? Fraud. That's fraud.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. Okay, if anything, they could probably get him for that. But this guy's making an argument that because that was fraud and because it was in the sex industry, therefore it is sex trafficking. That's his argument on why this video would be considered a ponage on Andrew Tate to get him for sex trafficking. Now that, on the other hand, I think it's pushing it. I know this guy's a lawyer and everything, and I think his channel's great. I've seen a couple of his videos before I did the Andrew Tate stuff. He has a good channel. I'm just saying, like, I think your bias is shooting in there because, man, it is very obvious that this guy just does not like Andrew Tate, and I think he doesn't want to back up anything. He wants to get Andrew Tate on something. I think that's what it is. It feels that way, anyways. I could be wrong, but he says it so many times. I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased. Okay, fair enough.
Force, fraud, or coercion.
Or if you're doing what? So a lot of webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell? That was the girl that recruited for Jeffrey Epstein. Almost identical to what he's talking about here. When you put all this...
Okay. So he makes the Jeffrey Epstein comparison. But let's be honest here, okay? When it comes to anything like that, it is true. Women will convince women more so than men would convince men on anything. I'll tell you this. It's called social proof. If a woman sees you with another woman and she's an attractive, especially if she's an attractive woman, other women by nature will naturally find you attractive as well. Okay, so it's the same reason why if you walk in the club with a super beautiful woman, it's easier to do business, like what I was explaining before. And I'll tell you this, it is the truth. Women can recruit women to do things, especially if they like the man that they're with. So advice to you guys, if you want a three-way, okay, and you have a girlfriend, let her do the convincing on the three-way to try to recruit a woman to do a three-way with you guys, because she will do it better than you. The only downfall, though, is that she's going to be doing the picking. So she's probably going to either, one, choose a fat, ugly bitch that she's hotter than, or two, maybe she doesn't want to get with any ugly bitches and she's going to choose a really hot girl because her herself wants to get with a hot girl. So go either way. So just word of advice there. Let your woman do the recruiting on that. But that's this psychological nature right there. And so that makes sense that even with Epstein and women are the ones doing the recruiting. That just makes a lot of sense in a psychological form.
Into context, you have the way he structured his business. One of the ways that he's lured the girls is by having another girl there, identical to what Epstein was doing.
No, it wasn't identical. Andrew Tate did not have an island full of children that were ready to, do work on the Democrats, Bill Clinton and several other people that were on that blacklist that still today have not been prosecuted or been after for the crimes that they were committing with Epstein. But hey, that's another story in itself. But this guy right here wants to convince you that it's the exact same thing. Completely dishonest. And again, he claims that he's not biased. But so yeah, that's all I had for you today. That was the reaction. That was Bruce Rivers. Great channel on him, but yeah, really bad bias analogy on Andrew Tate. But hey, we're at the end of the video. If you guys actually got here to the end, which I know it's a pretty lengthy video, like, subscribed, comment down below your thoughts. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the biased one. I think everybody has some natural bias. It is what it is. But if you made it to the end, tell me what you think. This is Project VO Pod. I'm your host, Jake Varr. Peace.